disappointing. Wolves are out of the Europa League. They've lost out 1-0 this evening to Sevilla. My name's Dave for Talking Wolves, giving my thoughts on the game. Of course, you guys let me know your thoughts. It's the end of Wolves season now. Crashing out to the Spanish side Sevilla, who have had a fantastic record since the new year, to be honest. Had a very, very good season. And we all knew ahead of this game it was going to be a really, really tricky game for Wolves. And it's just one of those, a bit of a bitter pill to swallow after Wolves had held them for so long. But I think, obviously, I'll give my thoughts on the performance today. With how we played, did we deserve to win the game? Or did we deserve, to qualify out the game? It was clear that Nuno had some sort of game plan, but as a fan to watch that, it was a little bit annoying. Starting lineup was probably as expected. I said it on the preview. I really did expect us to go 5-3-2, and we did that. Patricio in goal, Doherty at right wing back, Sace, Cody and Bolly at the back, with Vinagre, of course, getting a big start for him at left wing back due to the injury of Johnny. We saw Dendoncker come in the middle with Neves and Coutinho, and then Jimenez started up front, quite interestingly, with Adama Traore. Adama is someone that I wanted to see more of as a striker this season, but the little cameos that he's had as a forward just haven't worked out, and it was the same again today, if I'm honest. The biggest talking point and the massive, obvious, almost sliding door moment is that penalty. Wolves get an early penalty, very, very similar to the Olympiacos game. This was a Stonewall one. Adama goes in, big tackle from behind, defender, fouls him, end of story. And I've said it 4, 5, 6 times this season. If there's someone in world football that you want on the penalty spot with the ball, it's Raul Jimenez. And today, I don't know what happened. It wasn't a great penalty, if I'm honest. A very decent height and position for the goalkeeper. So that obviously that's frustrating. And when things like that happen, it's not going to be your day. And just the way Wolves set up today, it's the way very similar to how we played. We either play against big teams or a couple of European away games. We played in the same way, most notably probably Besiktas. We played very similar to how we did today. And we just sat really, really deep, trying to invite the pressure, tried to stay organised, which, fair enough, we did for 87 minutes of today's game. We did very, very well at doing that. But we offered absolutely, after the penalty for me, we offered almost nothing going forward. And our issue here is we were playing very, very direct, which I don't think suits Wolves whatsoever. If we're playing that sort of style, which of course I expect Nuno is playing as a counter-attacking style, you need players that are going to work hard up top. Jimenez, I think, does that to a degree, but he doesn't quite have that yard of pace. Adama, for me, since the restart, he had a couple of early games, like the West Ham game and was a Bournemouth game, was it, when he got the assist as well. Since then, I think the Olympiacos game as well, I just watch him and I think, you're either, half asleep, or do you want to be playing football? Because he doesn't work enough off the ball. And I know it's easy enough for me to say because I've praised Adama so much, throughout the season. But the last couple of games have been disappointing, to be honest. And I can't put all the blame on him because I just think the way we played today wasn't good enough to qualify for the Europa League semi-final. And as a fan, it's frustrating to see that. I think, I would have probably played Diogo Jota up top with Jimenez, although he's not quite been firing since the restart. I think he's got a bit more work rate about him, and he'd work harder to win you the ball and work harder to move the ball about. But if we scored that penalty right at the start of the game, you never know what's going to happen. And the longer the game went on, Sevilla were just looking very, very comfortable. I thought if we can get this to extra time, we may have half a shot. I don't think my heart could have coped with penalties, to be honest. But at the end of the day, it's when Wolves switch off, and that's that wins Sevilla the game off a corner. Vinagre sort of got 2 men. I think that was their game plan: pull a man short. You've got someone marking him and someone and no one marking anyone on the edge of the area. It's happened a couple of times this season. One of your central midfielders or one of your attackers sit on the edge of the area and put the pressure on him. Vinagre's in 2 minds, whether to mark the man who's short or whether to mark the man on the ball. And Ava Banega, who, if you watch the preview, was marked as the most influential player on the pitch. You've given him 5-10 yards of space there to pick a pass, and Lucas Ocampos flicks it on and beats the goalkeeper. So difficult for Patricio to do anything out of that, but just so disappointing that one lapse of concentration or one player to be in a better position could have stopped that goal, and Wolves could still be playing right now. But we're out of the competition. It has been an unbelievable experience, I've got to say, for Wolves to be in European competition, and unfortunately we're not going to be in it again next season, which is really, really upsetting. I think, we should have got it through the league, full stop. I think we were all half hoping that Wolves could have pulled off a miracle and won the Europa League, but it's not the case this season, and that's the end of the 19-20 campaign to Wolves. We have to move on to the 2021 campaign. I'd assume we'll see lots of transfer movements now over the next couple of weeks, now our season's over. Obviously, hopefully the players get a nice rest and we come back bigger, better, stronger, sharper next season. I think it's going to be a huge year for Wolves. Really got to start pushing towards the top 6 and top 4 again. If we can get 3 years of top 7 football, top 6 hopefully next year, that's an unbelievable achievement, full stop, after coming straight up from the Championship. But we've got to prove to everyone else now in England that we're here to stay as a top 6 team. The last few games haven't convinced me as a fan too much. We're grinding out results, but today sort of almost stood out to me as a game where, geez, I don't think we deserved anything out of today's game. I know there was a game plan there, but for me as a fan, a little bit frustrated. And plenty of you guys that watch the videos know that normally I'm quite a positive fan and try to give a positive twist, but today, I don't know. Vinagre did okay, by the way, on the left-hand side. I thought, they put a lot of pressure on Doc and Vinagre, who coped with it fairly well. But the one lapse of concentration costs Wolves, and that's that. I'd like to thank you all for your support across the season. It's been another unbelievable year at Talking Wolves on all social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and of course on YouTube, where I'm talking to you guys. And I always appreciate you listening to my thoughts. I always appreciate you dropping your thoughts. It's great to see. But regardless, whether you think it's been a good season or a bad season for Wolves, we can all have our opinions. It's just been one of those campaigns. For me, I would have snapped your arm off a top 7 and a quarter-final finish. But the fact we still sat here quite negative shows something, and shows that Wolves are on to bigger and better things, and we should be getting bigger and better things. So that's how it is. Be sure to hit the like button down below, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and enjoy your summer. And I'll see you all very, very soon.